People always ask me where I find the music that I listen to. I listen to a really eclectic and a wide range of stuff. So I wanted to show you guys how I've been able to discover a lot of underground music and old music and just um, branch out from the Spotify bubble. The algorithms on these apps are always taking the songs that you've already listened to and trying to find the most similar songs and artists to those. If you're like me, that's not necessarily what you want to listen to all the time. I'm always searching for something that I've never heard before to like give me that feeling that you get when you discover something new and it's amazing. And so that takes me to the methods that I've found to discover new music. So the first one that I wanted to talk about is rate your music. So first of all, if you've never been on Rate Your Music, it's kind of like an old internet type of website, I feel like, because it's like a community of people that write reviews on albums and make lists of their favorite music and stuff like that. And it's cool because I think the people on this website are mostly like music head type people. So I feel like you get really good reviews and opinions on here. People who really care about music are on here. So, um, and there's really interesting ways to browse music. So, like, here's an example. If I go to the charts and I can look at the top albums from different years or different decades, and then over here on the side, you can see where it says like top. I can change this to like popular, esoteric, or diverse. So esoteric is going to be relatively unknown, but with high average ratings. So not rated by a lot of people, but rated highly. And then um, let's leave this, I guess, on albums, but you can see here, like you can change it to different things. Um, and then if we don't want to do 70s, let's pick a random year. Like let's do like 1995. Um, and then we can also put here genre, word descriptors, um, locations, languages. So there's so many ways to search on here. So let's do a descriptor. And let's do let's do one that has to do with the mood of the music. And um let's pick something mellow. Okay. And update the chart. So now we can find here the most esoteric, unmellow albums of 1995. Um, so if we click into any one of these albums, let's do this one. You can see here the subgenres that it has: alt country, roots rock, Americana, and then you can click into any of these genres and discover more music that's in those genres. And then it also has these descriptors: mellow, warm, bittersweet. So this can kind of give you a good idea of what the album is about without actually listening to it. And then coming down, you can see here like how detailed and like how much love people put into their reviews, which I really appreciate. Um, and reading these reviews can sometimes give you an even better appreciation, I feel like, of the music, especially if it's not something you would typically listen to. Um, People point out like really interesting things in their reviews. And over here, you can see people's lists where they've included this album in the list. And this is just another way to find stuff. So I can click on one of these lists. So this is this user's top 1995 albums. You can see like Radiohead, the Bends. And then if I have a similar taste to this user, I could just go to their user profile and see what else they've been listening to. So there's just kind of endless ways to find music on here. I pulled up some other things. You can see like this is what a genre page looks like. Abstract hip hop. it's giving me the top ranked albums on the website from that genre. And these rankings I find to be like pretty cool because they're not going to be the same as what you would see like on Pitchfork or another like critic type website. Because these are the rankings from the users on Rate Your Music, so it's going to be a little bit different. And I think you get more interesting results here than like an official like music critic type website. So one last thing actually I wanted to show you guys on here is the new music. You guys know I like to keep up with like album releases and stuff like that. And one way that I do that is by coming on here and looking at the new releases. So this is showing the albums from 2025 so far. And these are some of the top rated ones, the ones that have the most reviews and highest ranking on the website from this year so far. So this is a good way to find new music and keep up with recent releases too. The next way that I wanted to talk about to discover music is by listening to local music. There are musicians where you live, and you should know, I think, at least a few musicians from wherever you live. Not just because like it's good to support local people, but also it's just a way to find artists before they get big. Um, and see them live too. So, for me, the ways that I've been able to find local musicians is one, I used to always pick up the newspaper, and there would be a section of the newspaper that had listed all of the concerts that were going to take place that week. Um, and a lot of it would be local musicians. And then there would also be a music section in the newspaper that would talk about different musicians. And that sounds like such an old man thing, but like you can really find good stuff there. The other way to find local shows is by just like Googling your city live music or live music calendar, and there's usually going to be a website for your city that lists all of the live music events and stuff. So I recommend checking that out. And then if you find like a venue that you like or a band that you seems like might be interesting, you can just look them up on Spotify and listen to like their top song and see if you like it before you go out to a show. Or you can just take a chance and like buy a really cheap ticket and then just see if you like it or not. I don't know. And if you find a band that you like locally, it's great because then you can see them live like a bunch of times. And that's something that you don't really get with every artist that you like. So kind of a segue from local stuff is just live music in general. I've noticed in my cities, like certain venues will have similar artists usually. So if there's a show that you already went to at one venue, you can go to that venue's website and see what other shows that they're gonna have. And maybe some of the artists that they're having you would also like. Coming down, now we're kind of going back into the online realm. So another um, online tool that I use to discover music is called EVERYNOISE at Once. And this is one of the coolest things that I've found on the internet maybe ever. um, so this is what it looks like. Look how insane this is. Here, maybe I can make it bigger so you guys can see a little better. Yeah. Um, so this map basically of all of these genres, and it's mapped out, I think from like uh maybe it's like low energy to high energy. The colors mean something. I can't remember exactly how it all works, but the point is like these are all mapped to where similar genres are close to each other. And it has all of these micro genres. A lot of them are specific to different countries and stuff, like Indonesian trash metal. So you can basically just scroll through here and find anything that is popping out at you and click on it. So let me make sure my volume is down because something about this website is that it plays the music extremely loud. So be prepared for that. Okay, let's listen to some Russian hyperpop. Okay, so if I click again, it's gonna take me to a map of Russian hyperpop artists, and these are also mapped out in the same way, like the ones that are close together are more similar. And then coming down here, you can see the genres that are most closely related to Russian hyperpop. And the really cool thing is that it also has this dark map here, which is the opposite genre to this. So the furthest away, and you can click on any of these artists here, and then it's going to take you to their artist profile. You can spend literally hours on here just like clicking through different genres, and it's a really fun tool to use. Music box, Afro-Cuban, psychedelic folk rock. There's just so much, guys. Like Italian library music. What? So here's some of the top Italian library music artists. It's just so cool. So you can click on any of these and play them. I'm not gonna play them right now, but like, yeah, cool stuff. Well, actually, you know what? Let's just play one because I kind of am curious. Okay. See, I could get into some Italian library music. That takes us to our next tool, which is another online tool called Music Map. So this is similar to EVERYNOISE at once, except here you're giving it a name of an artist. So I'm gonna do Erykah Badu. So this is gonna give me a map of related artists. So this kind of gives you more to work with than if you were to just go to the Erykah Badu artist page in Spotify and go to her related artists there. I find that the results here are gonna be a little different and kind of branch out in different directions. You can see that like we have some artists that are older, like Bill Withers, Nina Simone, Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye, Sade. Like I feel like these are people that might have been like influences to Erica, and then we have some people who are contemporaries, like newer than her, Hiatus Coyote, No Name, and then some people who were like around the same era as her, Lauren Hill, D'Angelo. So you're kind of getting suggestions in different directions. Like we even have Billie Holiday here, who is like not directly related to Erykah Badu, but you could definitely say that like Billie Holiday like was a predecessor um of Erykah Badu. So I think that's kind of an interesting connection to make. Online groups are another good way to find new music. So Reddit is one of the main places you can find music groups. One of them that I look at frequently is r slash hip hop heads. So obviously this is focused on hip hop music, but you can find a different subreddit for whatever genre you're into. And people post here like new releases. I like this because I think it's like really quick um, with new stuff. If you want to be like up to date on stuff or also find things that are a little bit um, what's the word? Like things that only people in that niche know about. I think it's a good place to look. Mike on God, like I listen to Mike. I listen to Earl Sweatshirt and I listen to Tony Snow, but I didn't know that they put out a new song. So I'm gonna definitely listen to this. Another group I wanted to show you guys is r slash listen to this. This is kind of open to all genres, I'm pretty sure. Um, but it's more like people posting kind of like deep cuts and stuff that you've probably never heard of. Like just scrolling through the first like four songs on here, I've never heard of any of these songs. So that's a good sign. If you're looking for something really um, that you've never ever heard and probably no one you know has heard, maybe this is a good place to go. In the same vein of online groups is Discord groups. So I have found Discord groups through different YouTubers, Twitch streamers, etc., that I watch. And in those groups, a lot of times people post music that they like to listen to like share with other people, and people are having discussions around music. One of the groups that I'm in has a page where they just post new releases. Coming down to the next way to discover music is out in the wild. So, out in the wild just means going about your daily life. You can discover music in so many different ways. Um, the first thing that I wanted to tell you guys is to Shazam everything. So, I am a big Shazammer. You can add a Shazam widget, so you can use Shazam without even having to open up the app. And so that's what I do a lot of times. I just press this little Shazam button here, and it's gonna automatically Shazam it without me even having to go into Shazam. um, if you guys don't know what Shazam is, it's the app that uses your microphone to identify the song that's playing. So I use that a lot when I'm out, like at restaurants or coffee shops, and I hear something that I like. Clothing stores, thrift stores sometimes play good music. Oh yeah, I wrote down record stores here. That's another good place. I was at a record store the other day, and they were spinning a Nick Drake album, and I heard a song that I hadn't heard before, and I ended up having a whole conversation about Nick Drake with the owner of the record store. So, um, yeah, obviously record stores, they play good music, and also you can literally just flip through albums and find, you never know what you're gonna find. I also just wrote like events, DJs, vinyl nights. You can Shazam their tracks, you can ask them what they're playing. And the other thing that I wrote here is friends. Yes, if you have friends, uh, listen to music with your friends. Share a song that you like with your friends, and or text them a song, and then they'll start, hopefully sending you music too that they like, and you can just have like a back and forth. There's certain friends that I have who um we only really keep up through talking about music that we like. So, or if your friend is playing something that you like in the car, like ask them what it is and steal their music. There's no shame in like straight up stealing and taking music taste from your friends, I think. I think that's fine. Yes, out in the wild. Coming down, related to out in the wild, is radio. So, yes, I am one of the few people who still listens to radio, like in the car. Yes, I listen to my own music, but sometimes I like to listen to the radio also because, yeah, I like to keep up with pop music, even though it's not like the main thing I listen to. I like to hear like what is on the radio. I like to know what's going on. And the other thing is, like pop music, top 40 is not the only thing that's on the radio. There's oldies stations, there's classical music stations, there's jazz sometimes, there's international music, like There sometimes I listen to like the Indian radio station. Sometimes I listen to the Hispanic radio station. Um, but the best radio station I think to listen to is usually the college radio station. So, whatever city you're in, usually there's at least one radio station that is like college radio. And so find that station and listen to it at different times of the day because the thing with college radio is that usually there's a lot of different DJs. And so every time you tune in, you might get like a different mix of stuff. Um, and it's gonna depend a lot on like who is the DJ at the time that you're listening, whether you're gonna like the music or not. So I would recommend like giving it a chance at different times of the day and different days. But yeah, I love college radio. A lot of times they're trying to play weird stuff. My parents would play college radio a lot growing up, and like the college radio here, they would be trying to play like the weirdest and most like outsider type of music possible. So you could discover a lot of like really weird and abrasive stuff on there. But yeah, fun place to find music. Besides the local radio, you can also explore radio in different cities. And so the best way that I've found to do this is through Radio Garden. So radio.garden is the website, and it's kind of awesome because it's like this giant globe, right? And oh, sorry, I didn't mean. Hopefully, I didn't blast y'all's ears. Um, so it's this giant globe, and I can go to any city. So let's go to here. Okay, so here's some Ugandan radio. And then there's different ways you can browse. There's different ways you can browse on here. And yeah, you guys can just have fun like exploring. So this is like some far out stuff. This is a radio station of Japanese soundscapes apparently, but it's in Argentina. Like crazy. Here's one from New York. But usually I just explore by like going around the map and just finding random stuff. So the next thing that I wanted to talk about um, is DJs. So DJs, you can listen to your local radio DJs. Um, of course, usually the local DJs in my city come on at night on the big radio stations, and on the day, a lot of times they're just playing charts. But if you want to hear a real DJ, I would listen to the radio like later in the day. And sometimes they're gonna throw in like local tracks, they're gonna throw in the old stuff, they're gonna do cool mixes. So that's always like a lot cooler to me than just listening to like the same tracks like played on the radio. My favorite way to listen to DJs is on YouTube actually. And so I pulled up a couple of my favorite channels here to listen to DJs. We have Book Club Radio. This is based out of New York. And the cool thing here is that, you know, they have all of the tracks listed. So you can easily, you know, snag tracks that you like and listen to them yourself on SoundCloud or Spotify, whatever you use. Um, and also, it's just like a cool ambience, right? To have a DJ set playing in the background while you're doing something, or, you know, while you have friends over, if you're trying to play music, like just throw on like a DJ set and let them, you know, do the work for you. Um, So you can find a DJ set for pretty much like any genre or mood that you have. Another good channel for DJs is the Boiler Room, and these are like live performances too. So they have like a really cool ambience to the videos as well. Like I really like people watching with these videos. Um, this one, this Yusuke Yukamatsu, this came out pretty recently, and I really enjoyed this set. Like, it's so fun to watch the crowd too. Um, but I actually did discover a couple of cool tracks from this DJ set. With DJs, like these are people that have listened to so much music and they put a lot of effort into choosing the songs usually for their sets. So you can find like really cool stuff from DJs. And I wrote checklist here because usually somewhere in the comments, if it's not like in the description, someone will usually post the checklist. So if you hear a song that you like, you can easily snag it from the checklist. The next thing I wanted to talk about is producers. So especially if you're listening to hip hop music, a good way to find new music is to figure out who produced your favorite songs and listen to other songs by that same producer. So, one way to do that is that you can right click on the song that you're looking at and then go to view credits. And then here it'll say like written by and produced by. You can look at the writers too. But the producers is usually where I go. And so we can see like the main producer here is Evergreen. So I would just copy this producer and then take it over to Genius. And you can just search it up on Genius. I already have it pulled up though. And you can see the other songs that Evergreen produced. If you find a producer you like, then you might like just like stumble upon a treasure trove of a bunch of other artists and songs that you're also gonna like. The next thing I wanted to talk about is yeah, just using Spotify better. So um I know like the whole point of this video is like looking outside of Spotify, but I also wanted to show you guys how you could better use Spotify to discover music because I think a lot of people aren't really using it to its full potential. If you go to someone's profile, and usually how I find random users is if I'm like searching for an artist, sometimes user playlists will come up and I'll end up like clicking on a user playlist and be like, oh, this is actually a good playlist. So then I'll go to their user profile and see what other public playlists they have. And then I'll literally just like, steal their music taste. Not completely, but if they have one playlist that I like, then they probably have another playlist that I would like. So I have no problem with going into someone's playlist and, clicking around, seeing if there's any other songs I can find. If there is a user who I like their taste, then I will just follow them. And a lot of people don't know this, I think, because they only use the app, but you can click right here where it says friend activity, and it's going to bring up a feed of all the users that you follow, what they're listening to right now. So here is a playlist that I started making. And if you add a bunch of songs here, you can get suggestions based on just those songs. And so this is a good way to get more tailored suggestions. Because say like you're getting a lot of suggestions on Spotify that are in a genre that you're not necessarily trying to explore right now. Like maybe you want to only listen to new jazz artists. Well, then make a playlist with just the jazz songs that you like and then see what comes up here in the recommended based on those jazz songs. The other thing that I wanted to say is just like browsing by artist. Sometimes Um, you can find like good things just by going to the related artists. Scroll down and click on the people that you've never heard of. Um, and then listen to a song from them and just like keep it moving until you find something that you really, really click with. And I would just keep going and keep going. There's no shame in like listening to 15 seconds of a song and moving on and going to the next artist, listening to 15 seconds and moving on. Because, like, if you don't get your ears out there, then um, you just won't have enough exposure to different stuff to find what you really click with. So, um, yeah, like I will just like micro listen to a bunch of different artists until I find something that I really love. Before I go, if you guys want to check out my Spotify, I'll put that in the description and I'll also put my new Discord channel in the description because I want to turn that into hopefully like a little music discovery community as well. I'll also put my Twitch down there. I usually listen to new music on there and do kind of like first listens of albums and stuff like that. So, yeah, I'd love to find new music with you guys. So, um, I'll see you guys next time. I appreciate it.